In today's reading in the Bible, we are going to be trying to touch upon a situation that I think we go into. But anyways, where we're coming in from is Jacob and Esau are born, and we know that the Lord has said that the older will serve the younger, and that is what happened when Esau sells his birthright. And I'm going to read this section. And it says, when the boys grew up, Esau became an expert hunter and an outdoorsman, but Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Isaac loved Esau because he had a taste for wild game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So Isaac, obviously Abraham's son, also was kind of like an outdoorsman, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Rebekah was at home and Jacob was at home, and he was taken after the role of his mom, just being a homebody basically. And he says, once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the field exhausted. We get exhausted. We just get exhausted, and we allow that exhaustion to take control of some of the next steps that either happen in our life or some of the decisions and choices we need to make. I know that there's a lot of times where exhaustion, simple exhaustion in my life, like I'm just too tired and exhausted to make it to that gym today. Like I done made it through the week and I did my work. I got up for work every day and I worked hard. I worked my hands and did my work like I was working for the Lord. But when it came to the gym, I was exhausted. And I didn't go. Or, there's a lot of simple times where I'm exhausted. It happens where I'm exhausted and I just give up what I wanted to do just because I'm tired. And there's nothing wrong with being tired, and there's just some days that you need to take off, but it's that exhaustion that you continue to use as an excuse to never get anything done, to basically sleep on yourself and God and what He has for your life. So Jacob, who is very busy outdoors, was exhausted. And so he came home and he seen Jacob was cooking a stew. Esau came in from the field exhausted. He said to Jacob, let me eat some of that red stuff because I'm exhausted. How he used his exhaustion to just be blinded by this food because he was hungry. Those two kind of don't even mix well for me in my head. Like exhaustion and hunger I don't know. He obviously was just blinded, and his exhaustion was his excuse to just need his impatience was, give me some of that food. I'm exhausted. And he was thinking too quickly and choosing to do something that later did not turn out to be well. And we will do that sometime. Instead of just actually stopping and thinking about the actions that we're doing, we just are exhausted, and we kind of make some choices too quick before we go to God and question Him. I know there's some times where I can just simply be like, God, please, I know I'm tired and I'm exhausted, and I worked like I was working for you, but I really want to go to the gym, but I'm exhausted. Please give me your strength and courage. And I won't add that part in where I will go speak to the Lord to help me to that next step. Like Jacob, Esau, he was out there. He was out there and he did his work and he worked hard, and God seen that. But he came in and now his mind is so warped, and he's just like, ooh, here's his food. Jacob, who is doing nothing, is at home. Feed me. I have the right for you to feed me because I'm tired. And we think we have the right, because we're tired, to just give up on what God has for us. We gotta all start. Oh, I love this section. Jacob replied, first sell me your birthright. Like his whole birthright. Some of us, we have these amazing plans and dreams and purposes and mission that God has for us. And how many of us are sleeping on them because we're just too tired? We just are warped in the mind. We're just too tired and exhausted to actually go to the Lord and talk to Him. Like Esau could have just been like, Lord, I'm exhausted and I'm tired and I'm hungry. Please give me the patience to wait for this meal to be done. And you know what he would have did? He would have never sold his birthright if he would have just talked to God. Because God would have helped him open his eyes and realize past the exhaustion that this is something great that I have put in your life. And we have these moments and these dreams and these purposes and these things God has put inside of us, these desires, these things that God has put inside of us. But we often too much are exhausted, are distracted, because all of these forms don't only come in exhaustion. It comes in distractions. It comes in excuses. It comes in other ways to where we literally are too, whatever it is, to hold on and focus to what God actually has, the bigger picture. The bigger picture here is literally Esau had a birthright, and we know about birthrights in the Bible, and he literally sold that and gave that up for some stew because he was exhausted and tired. Lord, I want you to teach me to never, please don't allow me to ever be too exhausted, too tired, too weary, too distracted, to focus on the world, to focus on people. Don't allow me to ever be too distracted like Esau was in this moment because of the simple thing that I was focused on right now. Never teach us all to never be that distracted and misled for what you actually, the bigger picture for what you have in our life, and we completely miss it. Don't miss the moment that God has for you. And it's simple things like this, or simple things that come in your life where you will allow that exhaustion and distraction or excuse or whatever it may be to hold you back for God's greatness in your life. We don't want to be like Esau. Jacob replied, "First tell me your birthright." "Look," said Esau, "I'm about to die. So what good is my birthright to me?" Lord, don't ever let me put those words in my mouth. I want to hold on to, fight for, get through with prayer and talking to you. And I am guilty of simple exhaustion. But what I do always know is the Spirit will wake me up and be like, you could have did this differently, Anna. You could have prayed. You could have prayed. And we could have went a different way about this, because now you missed a step but I never actually miss a step, because I do talk to God, and I do understand where I'm just literally being lazy sometimes. And I am literally just exhausted because I have a lot that I do, and I do work I do work in life. Like, I'm working for the Lord. So I simply do get exhausted, and it happens to the best of us. But the best thing is to know is that the Spirit will lead us in the right direction, and we will focus on not staying that way. The difference is if we stay in that exhausted, excused mindset and never see the bigger picture. Like, I'm blessed, and I thank the Lord that He does allow me to see the bigger picture. And when I miss, or I'm in moments like this of distraction or exhaustion, and I do miss a step, I know and I learn from it, and I pray. And in that praying and in those steps, it allows me to grow to where it's like, all right, you could trust God next time, Anna. Yes, you were exhausted, but pray next time and He will help you. And that's what Esau could have did. He could have prayed for patience, and he would have never lost the right of his birthright for some food. Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore to Jacob and sold his birthright to him. Then Jacob gave bread and lentil stew to Esau. He drank, he got up, and he went away. So Esau despised his birthright. What did he do? He was distracted. His mind was not in the right place. He was hungrier more than anything else that was in his life. And he literally thought his exhaustion and his hunger was going to allow him to die. Don't ever allow us to be like that, Lord. And if we do come to that point, please wake us up immediately, open our eyes and ears, and learn from that, and pray to you in our next moment of exhaustion and distraction, so that way we can spiritually grow and see where these areas you will continue to help us with and build us up and create character and keep us strong in times like this, so that we don't continue to miss where you have us going in our journey. We don't want to miss what you have for us. Amen. You have us. We are made in your image, and we are made to be great and victorious creatures. So don't allow us to miss that. Amen. May peace be with you.